This book, Never Really Alone, is a children's picture book about feeling like an outsider and working your way through it.
Yeah, we're here now with the author, it's Shawn Sayner, who wants kids to know whether they're by themselves or surrounded by others, everyone feels alone at times. So welcome to the Morning Blend.
Thank you for having me.
Great to see you.
What a great topic. I think this really is very timely with all the stuff we hear from kids in life online as we talk about social media and things like that. What kind of prompted you to start this picture book for kids?
Well, you know, this last year or so, there's been so much energy focused on what is dividing us.
Hold on one second. I think
I'm
we've
just
got your
turning
mic off.
mic on.
There we go.
So that we can hear you. There you go. Sorry
Now
to
we can
interrupt
hear
you,
you.
sweetheart.
That's okay.
I know, you're like, what? We had tough,
Don't want to miss all the good stuff you
Well,
say.
thank you.
technical difficulty. Okay, start
Nice
again if you would.
icebreaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, this last year or so, I was feeling like there was so much energy put out into the world about all the different things that divide us.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I'm a mom, I'm a parent, but I'm a person first, and I felt that. And then you internalize these things and think, you know, how is a kid gonna handle that? Because I don't think that we always give kids credit for how perceptive they are. And they really are, and they might not have the words to explain what it is that they're feeling or they're seeing. But I always try to make sure that the kids around me know that it's okay and it's a safe place to talk and a safe place to be, and so they get to express how they feel. But not everybody has that opportunity, and they might not know about all these other things that are going on in the world, but they'll notice it here and there. And then they're like, is something wrong with me because no one's talking about this?
Yeah.
And I think because, you know, we're always thinking, you know, bullying, maybe middle school, something older, there are resources there. But when you talk about our little guys and our little girls, they don't really have a lot of books that bring this up with them.
Well, and I think you bring up an interesting point. I love that you address fears, very common fears that kids have, because it's very real to them. And as an adult, it's easy to dismiss it and be like, you're fine, don't worry about that, don't be afraid.
Yeah.
But the other thing is that I feel like, and I noticed this when my kids were really young, they don't have the tools yet or the skill set to sometimes express what they're feeling. And sometimes it helps just to give them words. And that's where I think books like the ones you've put together are so helpful. I also think as adults, we'll say, oh, kids are so resilient, and we'll kind of dismiss things that happen in their lives that are traumatic. But the reality is those traumas as kids it makes a more permanent memory because it happens to us younger.
Yes, definitely. And you know, I struggled a little bit when I was coming up with the words for this, and words like mistrust, hate, those are pretty scary words. They're intense words, and I thought, can a small child handle this? But you know what? Sometimes what they're searching for are the words,
right?
And they know that they're seeing something, and they know that they're feeling something, or something's being directed towards them, and they don't have that tool yet because we've shied away from talking about these not so great feelings. And so there is a mention in this book of something like hate, but the point is, let's acknowledge it, and now let's talk about it, because you can't really control necessarily what someone directs towards you, but you can control how you react to it. And I want to give more kids more tools and ideas and thoughts, and just that idea to remember. If there's not someone right now that I feel safe with, that I feel is going to be there to support me, there will be. Because not everyone is lucky enough to have, you know, a strong support network, a loving family, but someday there will be. There's that thing to look forward to. We all find someone.
I think it's great. I think it's a wonderful conversation, and to be able to take those gut feelings that kids often say, I feel funny, or I don't like this, to give them some of the vocabulary, as you said, and start that dialogue. Your other book celebrates people of color.
Yeah.
This one really talks about, you know, those feelings of being alone. What age frame is this targeted to? You talk kind of about our littles. Is this like under 10? Is this even younger?
I like the idea that for most of these books, there's something in it for everyone at different developmental stages. So, you know, I've been reading to my son since the second that he was born. And we have, this is something that I think you could sit and you could read to a child, and as they get a little bit older, they'll start to identify certain things. And then, when you get to your 10-year-old age group, your elementary school students, a little bit older, then they can really deep dive into some of the implications in here. The book Never Really Alone, that's pretty obvious. There's a lot. It's very timely. There's a lot that they can go with there. But even something like What I Can Do With My Do, which is about celebrating people of color and knowing that there's a lot more styles that we see with ethnic hairstyles nowadays. It's a little bit more accepted. We see it in the media. We see it on ads. But in some workplaces, there's still kind of those older ideals.
Yes.
That some things are acceptable and some things aren't. And I really hope we continue to see that change. But whether we do or not, a book like this is really designed to say, the future is open to you, however you're going to express yourself. So, there is a talk that you can have there. It can be as simple as saying, I'm going to learn to love myself and have this self-love and love my hair and try different things. And also, this is a problem that we see sometimes with prejudice, and we don't want to let that limit us any more than it has to going out in the future. I want the future to be open, and this is my first book, and I love it because it has kids from the Milwaukee area in it, a lot of family and friends, so it's photography of all those, so it's got the local tie-in too.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, people can find your books and more at ShawnSayner.com. That's where you can get a copy, learn more about all the wonderful books that you've got out there. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.